This is the garden series, and we're going to be working in the garden again in February. What's with that? Stay tuned, I'll show you what I'm doing. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. We're going to be working in the garden today. Actually, I'm working in the garden today. I saw a YouTube video. A gentleman created a little thing to grow his peas and beans in, and I'm going to simplify his design even more and show you what I come up with for my garden. First of all, I'm going to resource some material to build a little bit of a raised bed for planting the peas and beans in. So this is my free pile of wood that I got, and we're going to resource some of this. Let's see, I can use that board, and I can use that board, and let's use that board. First of all, we're going to be under the cover of the carport and the protection from the rain. We're going to cut some boards, and I'm going to make a little raised bed for beans. So we've got a 10-foot 1x4, and we're going to cut this into two 5-foot lengths. Now with those two 5-foot lengths, we're going to cut a point at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll just cut our point. I really need to sharpen that saw blade or get me a new one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to measure 4 feet from the top down. And do the same with this other one. Now I'm going to cut two more 1x4s, and we're going to cut those to 6 feet in length. So I had this spare 1x1.5 inch 6-foot long board, and so that is going to be my final piece. And that's all the pieces we need to construct this little raised bed that I'm fabricating. Now we just have to cut a piece of fencing that I have on hand, and we're going to use that as a trellis on which the beans can grow up on. So let's cut this fence. I got my handy dandy fence tool, so we're just going to cut the fencing and use this as a trellis. We're going to pre-tap the holes for the screws. I'm going to pre-tap my holes and preset the screws. Let's go set this little contraption up. I scoped out a spot in my garden right here to put this contraption. So we're going to pound these into the ground about a foot away from the back fence. Okay. Put the first board in. and just screw the top in. The rear board on. This is where the precision takes place. I'm just going to poke that in right at the end of that board and pound it into the ground. And screw it in place. Bar on. The next step is to attach the trellis. What I'm going to do is drill 4 holes down each side, and we're going to thread the ends of the wire through those holes and bend them over, and that will hold the trellis up. That's it on the structure itself. It's just really simple, real simple, and a minimal amount of cost. Actually, this for me was entirely free because I resourced material right here on the homestead. So this is a pattern in which I'm going to be building several raised beds for different vegetables, yes, and fruits. So the only thing left to do is fill it with topsoil, so let's do that. So what's nice about this method is you just use a minimal amount of topsoil, just enough for the plants that you're doing. Get that in there. And it also eliminates the need for weeding so much. It creates a lot of airflow around the plant, gives it plenty of sun, and also it reduces the amount of fertile soil you're going to be needing to grow your plants, and it gives plenty of root space for your plant. We got peas. We're going to go ahead and plant in here. So that's my contribution to a DIY garden raised bed trellis system. It's more like a little box trellis, and pounding the stakes into the ground gives you the support so you can just have a single one, because it'd be really, if you have it freestanding, it'd be too top heavy and it'd topple over. Unless you're creative and you make you know, anchor it on ends with boxes and put root crops, deep boxes, and put root crops. But this, you can use a lot of variations. But anyway, this is my contribution to a DIY garden trellis raised bed system. What can you grow in something like this? Well, with a little bit bigger box for a bigger root system, I could grow cucumbers. We can grow all kinds of vine produce, and literally eliminate a lot of your weeding. and really make your garden easier to care for and a lot less hassle and more enjoyable, because I enjoy being outside and working in the garden, getting my hands dirty. I love that. So I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys in more videos. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen, here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.